Today I'm going to walk you through how an organization can perform a complex analysis on HR data that lives in many different systems to get a better understanding of employee attrition and performance. So let's get into it. Here we'll log into our Opaque platform, and then you can see a set of workspaces. A workspace is a confidential environment that is completely isolated where you can perform different collaborations on data. So let's get into our HR employee attrition workspace. And here we'll see that we have two users, Alice and Bob. Alice and Bob are sharing different pieces of data, and they want to run a joint analysis on it. Alice is sharing data on attendance records, compensation info, performance reviews, and workload metrics, whereas Bob is sharing different pieces of HR data, such as employee demographics, engagement scores, exit interviews, and training records. All of this data can be joined in our confidential environment, ensuring that no unauthorized party can ever access it, while allowing you to perform a complex analysis and derive insights from it. Upon joining a workspace, users connect their data to it, and it is encrypted before it reaches our servers. Users hold their own encryption keys, ensuring that data can only be used in ways that they permit. So let's take a look at some of our data. Here we have our employee demographics data. And when diving into it, we could take a look at what the schema looks like, containing things like employee IDs, age, gender, department, and so on. When connecting data to Opaque, data owners are able to apply policies that determine how their data can be used and by whom it can be used, providing them with additional assurances on top of owning their own encryption keys that their data will be kept secure at all times. When connecting data to Opaque, we automatically generate a synthetic version of your dataset that can be used for rapid development before it runs on sensitive data, allowing you to set your developers free and data scientists to build their queries quickly without having to go through the hassles around permissions and access controls. Bob also connects different sets of sensitive data here, which we can take a look at some of them. For example, exit interviews. And we can see that there's linking the employee to the date that they left, the reason, satisfaction scores, and different comments that they've left. So let's go into our jobs. A job in Opaque is a specific analysis that you want to run on your data. Here we'll walk through notebook jobs, which are custom analyses that can run and use tools that you're familiar with, such as SQL, Python, and run on PySpark as well. Here we're going to walk through a job that calculates employee attrition, and this is actually done using Python. So let's take a quick look at what the results of this job look like. The analysis that we're performing here joins all the different data sets that we just discussed and runs a model to determine the performance category, compensation category, and attrition risk of each employee at the organization, allowing you to get a holistic picture of who you should fight to keep around. This analysis, using a variety of sensitive data from both Alice and Bob, never exposes that sensitive data to any unauthorized party. In fact, before this workload can run on sensitive data, both Alice and Bob need to provide explicit approval since it uses their data. Every action within Opaque is also tracked within a cryptographic audit trail to prove that data sovereignty is maintained at all times. Let's take a look at it. Here we can see all the actions that were performed on our datasets since the inception of this workspace. Every action here is cryptographically signed by the CPU or GPU manufacturer, proving that nobody tampered with this audit trail since its creation. And as a result, you can feel confident that your data is kept secure at all times on the Opaque platform. Today we walk through how Alice and Bob can combine data from different parts of their organization to form a complex analysis to determine employee performance, compensation, and attrition rates. Within Opaque, that data is protected at all times, starting with the data owner holding its encryption key, being able to apply data policies, and also being able to approve the workloads that run on your confidential data. Every interaction with your sensitive data is also tracked through our tamper-proof audit trail, allowing you to be confident that your data is kept secure at all times, enabling some very complex and revolutionary use cases within Opaque.